Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Dad jeans. Dad jeans.
Little Knob Creek. That
Yeah.
should be there.
Make it
I know
nice and
you're
wet.
you're the copywriter among us, but don't you feel like that should be it?
Polish
your
your
knob
knob.
tonight.
Yeah.
Knob Creek whiskey.
It's sold. Done. Do you want me to talk to them? I'll see if I can get their info.
Yeah, it's like drivers wanted. It's
I
like,
just learned that I get a percentage if I get a new client in the door.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So I need to start sniffing around.
You know, my friend Ben, who
Yeah.
I saw, who's one of my dearest friends in the world.
Oh,
present
Ben
company
Dover?
excluded. Ben Dilford?
Bend over.
Ben Dover.
Yeah.
Ben Victor Hugo.
Yeah.
That was a Fletch reference.
I don't know. It's fine. Yeah.
Here's some whiskey.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to whiskey.
Cheers
Brendan,
to whiskey.
wait, let's stop. I want to hear your story, but let's just stare into each other's eyes.
Oh, here's
for
your
a full
face.
30 seconds.
Okay, of radio silence and staring.
I knew it.
Fuck, I broke
I
first.
knew you'd crack. I knew
was
you'd
amazing.
crack.
God
what
damn it.
What was that, listeners? That was 3 seconds?
It was 3
maybe?
seconds. I
Brendan
know.
could
I
laugh?
can't. What am I supposed to be authentic with you?
No, but you cracked in that way that it was like I'm not comfortable with this gentleman. That's what I felt from you.
Oh no, not this gentleman.
This
With
gentleman
radio
makes me
It
uncomfortable.
was radio silence. You make me so
fair.
comfortable. I would like to take my clothes off.
Can I just say?
But radio makes me want to put them back on.
Well, you're welcome to do so. We could pretend that you're doing so right now. My son Eli, this is not going to play.
I've heard
on the
of-
radio.
I've heard of him.
You've heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
He's just like at such a cute age right now, and he's doing like faces where he'll be like excited about something, and he'll go,
Oh,
but like was super like exaggerated, and like you don't know if he's trying to be funny, but then like he'll just do it for so long. You're like, this is a bit. This is a bit. I know this is a
so
bit.
cute. And he was saying. I still couldn't believe he was saying words the last time I saw him.
Oh, he's talking like a fiend.
It's so insane.
Let's talk about your friend Ben Dover.
Ben Dover,
Yeah.
who I saw while I was in Nueva York City,
See?
is a sound man.
Okay.
He and I have collaborated on sound for 20 years. He used to do sound design for my theater.
Yep.
And then he did the score and the sound design of mix of my first short film, which
Right.
I can say now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, you can say, because you've done two.
I have now done two.
I'd
More
love
on
to
that
hear
in
more
one
about
toe.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
have I got a one toe for you?
Oh, please,
I have
toe it.
all 10 toes in the pool.
Put those toes inside me.
Oh,
Yeah.
so deep. I'm
Okay.
going to be tickling your tonsils. but
You got some long ass toes, bro.
it runs in the family.
Yeah.
So speaking of being a copywriter and like
Which
whoever
I
came
am.
up with Farfignugan or whatever the fuck, Verfremdung.
That person should have been drowned in a well for being a witch. Farfignugging.
Oh yeah, a German witch,
German witch.
Vitch.
Yep.
So he was one of the designers of when you call AT&T,
Yeah.
and it goes doom 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 doom.
Uh-huh.
He was one of the
he
designers.
wrote
of
that?
Yeah. Wow. And he got lots of royalties.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you hear that This American Life story about the on hold music?
Yes, I did. And I
that guy
listened
never
to
got
it.
any royalties.
That poor bastard.
Poor bastard.
Because every hospital plays it. And my hospital plays it when I call.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Doom, 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 doom. And you
Yeah.
feel like you're in an episode of Miami Vice.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
I've heard it a million times. We all have.
Are you with Kaiser?
I am not with Kaiser, but I used to be. Bend over.
Okay.
Listen, if you're gonna get naked, Brendan, then
I mean,
this is gonna
things gonna
degenerate quickly. No, your buddy Ben.
that's all. That was the whole story.
Oh, it was. Didn't
Yeah.
it start from a place?
Of you talking about copywriting and getting new if you get clients in,
Oh, that I get money.
you get
get
that
paid.
money.
So you're saying that I should talk to Ben? Is that the situation?
No, it was more about royalties. I forget what it was about.
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
point
want
is, I
royalties.
missed you desperately.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to have an authentic moment with you.
Yeah.
Here it is. You ready?
Tell me.
I love you.
Oh,
That's it.
okay. Well, happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, good night.
Cheers, Brendan. I've told you that before, and you've been like, you've responded by being like, I love you, like or some like. So I'm not even going to
Woody Allen?
respond.
No,
but
I don't deserve
enjoy
it.
you.
I don't
enjoy you as
deserve.
well.
I don't deserve a response. But Jeff, I'm a different man now.
I can tell just
Yeah.
in your energy. There's like there's a comfort level, I think, with yourself that I have ascertained in the 2 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are Dad Jeans.
Oh, I suppose.
Back
We're back.
Again,
Finally.
After 17 years in the wilderness.
Running from the law.
Yeah, I was on a mountain in the Himalayas, or maybe the Himalayas is a mountain. I don't know.
It's a bunch of them.
No one spoke English, so I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. I was just like being Sherpa'd from here to there for like 17 years.
Is this one Himalaya?
God.
This one is Himalaya?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, is this, they have different names? How does this work?
This is Himalaya 1.
Yeah, and everyone was like, it's like, and I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds right. But and then Brendan, you were a pirate. Am I wrong?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that work?
I wanted to be a pirate a long time, so I took Cantonese in college. And then the joke was on me because it turns out I should have been taking Somali.
So you were a hardcore pirate. You were Captain.
Oh yeah,
Captain Jack or whatever.
Captain Short Beef.
Yeah. You were like rolling up with machine guns. You weren't a fun pirate.
No, I wasn't a fun pirate at all. I was ransoming people back to themselves. I was ransoming their own body parts back to them. Like, you want your hand back? That'll be $10,000.
Back to Rex Tillerson. You were like, Rex Tillerson, I've got your boat.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, keep it.
Yeah, he's like, okay.
Speaking of the term short beef.
Yeah.
So there's a CrossFit organization here in Highland Park.
I hear of their works.
They're pretty rare, but sometimes if you look hard enough, you can find one.
I wonder if is that true in America? Are they like, is it as much of a phenomenon as it is in the cities?
Starbucks and CrossFit at this point should just merge.
Yeah, totally.
Because there's going to be big fights between baristas and.
But we felt that way about Curves at one point, and that organization has sort of gone the way of the dodo.
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
You go there enough, no more curves.
Ah, there you go. It's a terrible name.
They conceptualize themselves out of existence.
Right. It should have been called Flatties.
Yeah, angles.
Yeah, angles. Oh, see, much better than Flatties. This is why I needed you.
So
CrossFit. Are you doing CrossFit?
No, but I was toying with the notion
okay.
at Emily. Okay. CrossFit is there so that you wonder aloud whether you should do it at your wife.
Right.
And we drove by or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, short beef."
Short beef.
And I was
I've
like,
never
what?
heard such a
Neither
thing.
had I. Maybe I think she said a friend of hers like coined the term. And like CrossFit is for short guys who become really muscular and become known as short beefs.
Wow. That is, Emily needs to trademark that right now.
I know.
Hashtag short beef.
Hashtag short beef.
Because
we already named our episode, and it's only so
that is really, really good.
She's amazing. She was like, the other thing she said when we were first dating is, I knew a guy who ate the banana from the wrong end.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
That was her thing that she said?
No, I said that.
Oh, you knew.
I knew a guy.
Oh, I ate the banana from the wrong end.
No.
It's much easier.
No.
That's how monkeys open them.
Nope.
No?
Absolutely not.
How you refuse?
No, I know.
The handle is not a handle. No. It's not a handle. It fools you. It tricks you.
It's an exhaust. You're saying it's an exhaust pipe?
I don't know what it is, but it tricks you. It's a trick. It's a fucking monkeys played this trick on us. They're like, hey, idiot humans, we're going to watch you struggle with this thing you think is a zipper because it looks just like it.
That's how they can tell.
Other end.
We're not one of them.
Right, exactly.
If you're ever like stuck among the Tarzans, you bite in the middle of the banana.
Oh, well, see, now that's fucking next level.
Yeah.
Just go and straight in the middle.
And take a bite out of it, including the skin.
Yeah. See, that's next level.
Yeah.
But okay.
Okay. So I knew
Tell
this
me
cat.
About this guy.
Lewis. Huge head because he was a C-section.
Okay.
And it was round. It was perfectly round. And he would open the other side of the wrong end of the banana.
Okay.
And Emily, upon hearing this instantly, not knowing anyone in the room, I was like, by the way, everybody, this is my new girlfriend, Emily.
Yeah.
And this was the first conversation that sprouted up. She was like, oh, it's like, and I think Lewis was there. She's like, it's like eating somebody's asshole when you first meet them or something like that.
Oh.
And everyone fell in love with her.
Was it, they fell in love with her?
Yeah.
See, you're in a particular crowd.
Theater
That
crowd.
might have
People.
silenced
Others.
another crowd.
Yeah, it's true. You know what?
Has anyone seen the NASDAQ today? That would be my crowd.
Everyone who starts glancing around has eaten plenty.
Plenty of ass. Yeah.
Because they're the ones who
They're
are
like, oh, I know what that means.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now that you would mention something like that. I've never even heard of such an act.
Oh, ass eaters.
They have their third case of meningitis.
Yeah. Welcome all ass eaters. This is Dad Jeans. I'm Jeffrey Dinsmore.
And I'm Brendan Hughes.
Yeah.
This is a really dirty episode already.
Already, yeah. If your kids are in the room,
crank it up.
Crank it up. Turn it up, dude. We are back together. We had a hiatus. Brendan has been gone for a while. I'm concerned,
2.5 months.
I'm concerned, Brendan, about this next phase of Dad Jeans because you're going to be gallivanting. Brendan has become quite the libertine, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed, I have.
He left his job.
I did.
And now he's just scalamandering around.
Wait, that's the one that changes colors when it's on a tree branch?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's true. I have been. It's insane.
Yeah. You've been.
I quit my job just in time.
But you were mostly you went to New York, but you were mostly in the Bay Area.
The Bay Area.
And was that a vacation of sorts?
No, it wasn't.
You were on duty.
We were on duty familially as
Okay.
as my I can't remember how much I've disclosed in previous Dad Jeans.
Nothing.
But the reason
everyone is like writing and saying, "Is Brendan's appendix okay?"
Oh,
People
that's what's in the mailbag?
Yeah.
They thought I was up at like the Mayo Clinic in San Francisco.
They assumed it was that or like some kind of a short beef
incident. Oh, where people's muscles disintegrate while they do short beef rounds.
Terrifying.
What is that? I already forget what it's called. CrossFit. The term short beef.
Yeah.
Completely erased CrossFit in my head as of this conversation, and now I couldn't come up with
pretty
CrossFit.
That's pretty much what it is. But it's like it turns your muscles into vomit, right? Like, isn't that what CrossFit does?
Yeah, it does.
Essentially.
Right, and people die of vomit poisoning.
Yeah, exactly. They're flexing in front of the mirror, and then just like green ooze starts spilling out of their arms.
And they look like the Swamp Thing. Hideous.
But done in moderation, I think CrossFit is fine.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you my theory about CrossFit?
No.
That we are, this is an evolutionary thing, that we are turning into insects. We are making ourselves into insects, creating these hard exoskeletons for ourselves with things like CrossFit.
Yeah.
Because we know that the world is about to end, and the only ones who will survive are the ones who are
the cucarachas,
who are strong enough on the outside.
Yeah. Exoskeletons. They already exist for the paraplegics of the world.
Oh,
who walk around and do shit, and then there are the construction workers who can like pick a bunch of shit up, like in Aliens.
Do they have those?
Yeah, they now have those.
Do they actually use them on?
Yeah,
wow.
in the Asia.
How about that?
Yep.
Asians.
See,
they're smart because they're short beef.
Yeah.
But they create mechanisms by which to overcome their shortness.
Yeah, awesome shit. Speaking of Malaysia,
I hear Oscar in the other room.
What's he doing?
Okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
He talks to himself and sings to himself, and he has a bunch of strange rituals before he goes to bed, if he ever goes to bed.
That's fine.
And we don't like go in there and are like, yeah, that's a song.
Okay.
It's probably in German.
Oh. Does he speak?
Just tell me if he says the word Reich.
Yeah. Well, if he starts growing a strangely centric mustache.
Exactly. Or always wipes a bit of chocolate there.
Don't even need it. We got a new Reich leader.
Oh God.
He just needs to comb over.
We're probably doing newspapers tonight, aren't we?
A little bit of newspapers. I don't want to go too deep into it because I'm actually feeling good about life now that this administration is crumbling.
I know.
It's
on
the
day
first
26.
time in months that I've felt like I didn't have to like stare at the news because like I thought like, oh, I'll come back to the news and I'll have like heartening stories to read.
Wait a second. We should we go into it? We might as well go into
it.
There's so much
started,
Let's just get started.
Yeah,
because there's so much to cover.
I got a million.
I got a million. So first, let's do a quick newspapers because we can't avoid it.
Okay,
newspapers.
A lot of stuff going on over here, over there. We're gonna tell you about the world because the world is important. Newspapers, we peep the news.
So. You mentioned just now that I seem like more comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah.
You know why?
Do tell. Donald Trump?
Flynn resigned.
Oh yeah, that was
gorgeous,
incredible.
I got on the plane on Monday night in New York.
Yeah.
I got off the plane and Flynn had resigned. I couldn't believe it.
It's insane.
I was reading articles about that guy and the fact that Russia, how deep up his ass Russia was.
Oh yeah,
3 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare, this guy. And not just that, but he was a conspiracy theorist. He was like totally unfit for the job. But Lost my train of thought.
You said something on Facebook I'd like to quote back to you and then get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
You were like, what has taken the New York Times so long to say this?
Well, right? I mean, haven't you had that?
Yes.
Aren't you having that feeling that it was like I distinctly remember that feeling in the Iraq War when I was just like, wait, didn't we know this 3 years ago? Like, where's the news here?
Right.
But now people are responding differently.
Yeah.
Like, I feel very disassociated. Like, it feels like, I mean, like 4 months ago, there were all these reports coming out that are saying exactly the same thing that the New York Times article said last night. Right?
Right. Yes.
That there was constant contact between the Trump administration and Russia.
Yeah.
I thought that was established,
and all throughout the campaign,
more established.
And now, maybe they got their third source they've been waiting for, and if it appears in the Gray Lady, then everyone can finally actually believe it, and it becomes hard fact.
Right.
It seems like they consider themselves, and not without total merit, the arbiter of actual truth in the United States.
I think they get too much flack for being, I mean, that's a fucking tough job. Like them and WAPO, like that's the Washington Post. That's a hard job to be the truth source.
Right. Then the paper of record for
NPR,
a country
same
like
thing.
this.
Like sometimes NPR, I'll be listening to right-wing people talking on NPR and I'll be like, challenge him.
Right.
But like, then, you turn to people on the right and they're like, the NPR is just the liberal news. So it's kind of like there's something, they must be doing something right if they're pissing off both sides, right? Like,
well, yeah, I suppose so. That sort of centrist thing.
It's just hard to be that source that is like the arbiter of truth.
Well, but at this point, it's just like the Bush administration. There's the reality-based community,
right,
which is left-leaning, which reality has a left-leaning bias.
Absolutely.
And then there are the fucking nutcases who are like, we equal you, and there's that the whole false equivalency thing.
Right.
And the papers of record, like the Washington Post and the New York Times, luckily are not doing this so much, but they are giving him every chance to be like a hefty world leader the way Barack Obama was.
Right.
But the man has an IQ of 100.5.
Absolutely.
So we have an idiot in office, and no one is talking about that.
I'll tell you what needs to happen. I just realized. The media needs to be the muckrakers who are associated with the working class.
Oh.
Like the media has become this elitist institution, and it tunes out like all of the, like everyone in America who is not college educated. But like there is a place, I feel, for the media to be the fucking voice of the working man in a different way. And I feel like that's how they would regain their trust.
Okay. Wait a second. It seems like you said a contradictory thing, so let's unpack it.
Tell. Let's.
So, meaning the media represents the working man, but also says, fuck you, we're only dealing with the college educated? Is that what you just said?
No, I'm saying that's where they're at right now, is that's why the working class is like so anti-media, because they get these fucking jokers at Fox who are exactly as elitist, if not 1,000 times more than any New York Times reporter who's just like fucking working his beat for 40 grand a year or whatever, right? Like you've got Fox News pretending to be the friend of the working class.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're just exploiting them.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you get like, if the fucking Flint Journal was on the beat, like fighting over the Flint water crisis, like that would be a thing.
Yeah. Oh, and sort of become ever so slightly cause-based.
Yeah. Yeah. Just fighting for your community, or just being like the voice of like the underserved people in your community, which I feel like that's what the media is supposed to be. And that's probably what they have been historically.
Yeah. At certain times.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah. I read something that said like every reporter, whenever they're interviewing someone, should have this phrase in their head: who is this asshole and why is he lying to me?
Oh, I love that. I got into an argument with someone on Facebook who was like a Trump supporter, and he was just a friend of a friend. And he was talking about how Kellyanne Conway went on Meet the Press and Chuck Todd grilled her about some things or something like that. And he made some comment about like, it was just rude the way he treated Kellyanne Conway. Like, he needs to show her more respect. And my response was like, I can't, like, let me process this. You think the role of the press is to be kind to people who are trying to spin them? Like, just that thought in itself, like, I don't care what side you're on, just thinking that, like, the spokespeople of an administration who are clearly trying to push an agenda, that you should give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, that is a deeply flawed view of what the press should do, in my opinion.
Very cogent.
Yeah.
Jeff Dinsmore, cogent.com.
Can I tell you my news peepers?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck General Flynn. We're so happy about all these things. I posted this article today.
Fruit salad.
On so long fruit salad.
Sounds all that fruit salad on his jacket.
That's amazing. That's like, that sounds to me like a 70s like you and me, and like free to be you and me kind of play. Like, so like long fruit salad,
an Elton John album.
Yeah, totally. Like a couple of teenagers in like Brooklyn in the 70s, just like they meet an old man who, you know, maybe hoards like matchstick figures or something, and then he dies and they clean out his apartment. I don't know. Okay, so this is an article. I just wanted to read this because this is just incredible. This is from Fox News by Keith Ablow. Dr. Keith Ablow, maybe. Who knows? He claims to be a doctor.
He goes doctor in communications.
Yeah, okay, no, it says Dr. Keith Ablow at the bottom, but somehow his byline doesn't mention that he's a doctor.
Interesting.
Opinion, relax. Trump is stone cold sane.
Oh, my God. I saw you posting this today.
You didn't read this yet?
No, not yet.
That's amazing. Okay. I'm just going to read this entire article because it's so good.
Okay.
Let me issue the standard disclaimer of psychiatrists who discuss the mental health of public figures. I have not personally examined President Trump. Okay, good.
So far, I trust this guy.
Thank you for that disclaimer. Now, let me put to rest the concerns of Senator Al Franken and political commentators John Oliver and Andrew Sullivan, and anyone else who publicly or privately has questioned the president's sanity. Donald Trump is stone cold sane. Case closed. Oh, no, he gives examples. He tells us why. Okay. When a man acquires billions of dollars through complex real estate transactions. Okay. Let's just start right there.
Already. Yeah.
A rich man can't be crazy. Essentially is the thesis that we're starting with.
And the man lost $800 million.
Yeah, exactly.
But if he had just sat on it, he would have $12 billion.
That's so true. I would like to see you write the like antithesis of this article, where you just write every like sentence except like the negative side of what he's trying to say. Man acquires billions of dollars through complex real estate transactions, invests in many countries. Okay.
What?
Goes on to phenomenal success in television and turns his name into a worldwide brand. It is very unlikely that he's mentally unstable. Very unlikely, Brendan.
Oh, I see. Has this guy seen Grey Gardens, do you reckon?
That's true. Although they just kind of sit on it. They kind of got the money.
Yeah, don't they make much better financial decisions than Donald Trump?
I would elect Little Edie president before Donald Trump. If Little Edie ran for president, I would be full behind her. When the same man obviously enjoys the love and respect of his children and his wife. When he enjoys the love and respect of his children and his wife. Based on
what this guy watched at the Republican National Convention, there's no way anyone could conclude that.
Yeah, well, no.
His wife hates him, and he wants to sleep with his own daughter.
It's very true.
And she knows it.
And he's divorced 2 of them, so...
of his daughters.
Yeah, he's already divorced 2 of his daughters, who he procured on the black market in Russia. He enjoys the love and respect of his children and his wife, who seem to rely on him for support and guidance. It is extraordinarily unlikely that he is mentally unstable. Just that entire paragraph.
This is what he's.
This is his evidence.
The only people that like him in the world are his American psycho sons.
Yeah, exactly, because they're fucking gonna get all that money. When the same man walks into the political arena and deftly defeats 16 Republican opponents and then the Democratic heir apparent to a 2-term president's administration, the odds of that man being mentally unstable become vanishingly thin.
This is
because that's just a thing that we know from history.
Is this an article on Fox News or a conversation overheard in an old folks' home?
I thought this was an Andy Borowitz article, honestly, when I read it. I cannot believe this is not satire, because listen to the next proof that he's sane. And when that very same man attracts to his team the kind of intellect and gravitas represented, to name just a few, by Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Dr. Ben Carson,
oh my God,
Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, and Secretary of Defense James Mattis, a retired Marine Corps general and commander, blah, blah, blah. He cannot be mentally deranged. Period. It is a statistical impossibility.
Wait, is that what you just said?
That is exactly what you just said.
So what
this man should have his license revoked after this article.
So if the president were insane, then he wouldn't be able to find anybody to be on his cabinet. No one would want to be on his. Who would want to be on the cabinet of the United States?
Well, here's the thing, Brendan. Like, this guy, apparently he's a psychologist. He claims to be. I think he's thinking that, like, if you're insane, then you're like the Mad Hatter, or you're like some fucking lunatic, like batting your head against a wall in a you know, whatever, a rubber room. Like, there's no, like, he's not insanity takes many forms.
That's true.
Are we right? We're agreed on this.
We're agreed on this. But he, unfortunately, maybe as a psychiatrist doing his rounds, has seen real insanity. So his metric for what is insane is way different than the rest of us. Right.
Well, maybe. So that seems to give him the benefit of the doubt to a certain degree.
Here's how I've always seen sanity, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know how, and I'm sorry to interrupt your article. You know how, fire extinguishers. You know how they have a dial on them, and the little yellow needle has to be in the green and not in the red in order for the fire extinguisher to be valid and charged?
Sure.
And the green, and it's a circle.
Yep.
And that little thing, dial. And the green is this tiny little sliver, and the rest is red.
Okay.
And that's how I see sanity.
That's probably true.
Every time I look at a fire extinguisher, I'm like, wow, it's still in the green. It's been years.
Yeah.
It's still ready to go.
We had one that went all the way down. Just didn't do anything with it. Somehow it just went all the way down.
Just leaked its ass out?
I guess so.
Damn, had gas.
But you're saying that I'm confused by that metaphor.
So sanity is a very narrow
thin sliver.
Yeah, sanity is a tightrope. So we therefore are on much more solid ground calling him insane.
Yeah.
What this guy's saying is that insanity is the tightrope.
Okay.
And that insanity is a tiny sliver, and there's a whole lot of sane.
Right.
My contention is sanity is the tightrope, and there's a whole lot of insane.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. But it's just like so ill-defined. Like just even discussing sanity or insanity in this manner is unbefitting of a fucking psychologist.
And for that matter, is insanity even in the DSM-5?
Or psychiatrist. He's a doctor.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think they took away that term. Yeah, it's like retarded.
Yeah, exactly. Those who assert otherwise are political opportunists or fools or both.
Oh.
And I'm thinking here in particular of Senator Franken.
Oh.
This guy's got a real beef with Senator Franken. Doesn't like Jews. President Trump is the first human being to win this nation's highest office without having held any other political office or serving as a general. Most political pundits thought this quest was pure folly. Most journalists assessed his chances as zero. So who was laboring under quasi-delusional thinking? Answer, not Donald J. Trump. That's kind of a fair point.
That is because he knows the power of reality television.
Exactly. Anecdotally, by the way, this is fun. I have never had one bad Trump experience. Not one. I own several of his ties, all of them of the highest quality.
Wait.
I have stayed in his hotels and never had a single complaint, and I am a born complainer. I have eaten in his New York restaurant, flawless service, excellent food. I own an apartment at Trump Place in Manhattan.
Oh my God.
Impeccable design, sturdy construction, fabulous amenities. A mentally unstable man would be unlikely to deliver superior products across multiple industries. Don't you think?
Please tell me that is DONTCHA.
No, sorry. He spelled it correctly. If you're still worried about the mental instability of the president, note this. Okay, this is not interesting. I should note that nothing I am saying should besmirch the reputations of men like President Abraham Lincoln or Sir Winston Churchill, both of whom are said to have fought the ravages of major depression or bipolar disorder. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. Mind you, okay, this is good. Mind you, neither Lincoln nor Churchill nor Gandhi led a nation.
Sorry, did he spell that Minejew?
No, sorry. He spelled it correctly.
Okay, go on.
Neither Lincoln nor Churchill nor Gandhi, I don't know when Gandhi got involved in this conversation, but led a nation after becoming a business sensation and television star. That trifecta defines one man, President Donald J. Trump.
Oh, my God.
Now think about those who are rabble-rousing about the president's mental status. Take Senator Al Franken. Let's go back to this guy. He's all worried about the president allegedly overestimating the crowd size at his inauguration. But Franken is allied with Senator Elizabeth Warren, who asserted she is Native American when there is no evidence of that whatsoever.
Oh, my God.
And they're calling Trump's sanity into question? Really, you can't make this stuff up. Boom. Mic drop.
That was written, I think, by a 6th grader.
It was, yeah, and it was the number one article on Apple, like Apple's news program.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's clickbait from the title, first of all,
Sure.
And second of all, that is
Dick
so
bait from
flimsy.
the content.
Clickbait from the headline, dick bait from the byline.
Yeah,
and
scene.
Snick bait.
Snick bait.
So,
okay, where to go with that?
It is so flimsy. Like
it
the
is
case is so flimsy.
Basically, I like him, so he can't be insane.
Yeah, his state.
And he's my landlord. Like,
exactly.
The weirdest.
Full disclosure. I pay my rent to him.
I know, exactly.
And I ordered a medium rare steak, and it was medium rare.
Yeah.
And apparently he's in the kitchen cooking it.
Yeah. My toilet didn't flush. He had a guy come up and jiggle it. Worked like magic. This guy's a magician.
And by jiggle it, I mean
just
my
a little
penis.
bit. Yeah, my penis. Mo penis.
Okay.
So that's all I got for newspapers.
Here's what I have to say.
We're feeling good though, right?
We're feeling finally.
We're feeling hopeful.
We're feeling a bit of a respite.
Yeah,
because also the labor secretary withdrew today. Did you see that? So and Chaffetz is finally being forced into investigating a little bit.
Can I say something about this Puzder motherfucker?
I fucking hate Chaffetz, but go ahead.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of garbage. I was listening to NPR and just they're taking the angle that like he was unqualified, therefore he didn't get in, or that like, you know, he had personal problems, whatever. But fucking DeVos is the most unqualified person in the history of the United States.
In the world.
She gave people a shitload of money.
Right.
She gave everyone in Congress money.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you can't compare these two people and say like, maybe Puzder is like unqualified. Sure, fine. But mention that also he didn't fucking bribe every member of Congress. Because he would be totally anointed if he had.
Yep. That's absolutely insane.
That's it. Okay, so keep going.
God. Okay, well, let's we'll move on. We'll move on from news.
My nuts are chafitzing in my
that
pants.
guy. But did you see what happened to him at his town hall in Utah? Glorious.
Do your job.
That was glorious.
So
I watched all of it.
That
He had this
so
shit-eating grin the whole time.
That grin. That motherfucker.
Disgusting. Okay, so let's move on to one toe.
Okay.
One toe.
You put your one toe in, then leave it in. You're done.
I want to jump in early. And
you take it first. You have a cooler life than I do.
For the moment.
Okay.
You've had a much cooler life through the life of Dad Jeans.
Yeah. Life of Riley, some would say.
I want to start with this.
Life of Riley.
The life of Royley.
Okay.
A chief complaint.
I've kissed the Blarney Stone.
The Blarney Flurney.
Blarney Stone?
The Blarney. Blarney.
Okay. Keep going.
I have a friend who was complaining about a play that was about Irish people.
Brian L. Perkins, that motherfucker. We haven't gotten into how much I hate his guts after that last episode of Dad Jeans, but I'm sorry, keep going.
So I have this friend who was, there was sort of these Irish exploitation plays that were on Broadway in the 90s, or they were seen that
way.
Like
Amos and Andy?
Basically, the Irish version of that. And the phrase that a person uses when they say that is they call it Irish with an O.
Irish with an O. Explain that. I don't know.
Irish exploitation. Irish.
Irish.
So when something is Irish. It's Irish with an O.
But like, what would be that? In the name of the father?
Kitschy Afghan. Yeah, well, that was kind of pretty good.
Yeah,
but
movie.
Brooklyn. Was the movie called Brooklyn? I think it was called Brooklyn.
That movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, your mom loved that, didn't she?
Well, you know.
She's older. I couldn't get it. I was like, what's happening?
It was schmaltz.
There's nothing to this movie. It felt like there was nothing to it. I was like, is there a story?
Schmaltz. No, yeah, it was just like
a girl hopping around.
I'll go on and eat.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll kiss on the cheek.
Don't get me wrong, Saoirse Ronan is gorgeous. That is an attractive lady.
There is nothing but vowels in her first name.
That guy was the worst thing I've ever seen.
He was the worst.
in my life.
And this is my conditioning. I kept watching it.
Hey, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, come on.
Yeah,
we like the Mets. What do you think?
Yeah, and
the Dodgers.
Did you think the whole time as you're watching, I'm like, is he going to sexually assault her eventually?
Yes.
Like, when does the sexual assault happen?
Yeah.
And this becomes like
something
an art
dangerous
house
is about to happen because this guy is the weirdest acting gentleman I've ever seen in my life. No, he's charming apparently to some people.
And the end.
Yeah, the end.
And they get married and everyone's happy.
Okay. Irish. Let's go back to Irish.
Irish. So Oscar and I were hanging out tonight, and this morning he was homesick from school, so he and I were chilling, and I had my Spotify on playing music, and "Sign on the Dotted Line" by Mr. Jeff Mangum came on, as it's prone to do.
Okay, I think that's Terrence Trent D'Arby you're thinking of.
Oh yeah, that's "Sign Your Name Across My Heart."
Oh, sorry.
Or no, "Sign the Dotted Line" is an obscure B-side from Neutral Milk Hotel.
Okay,
and that's great. And he stopped in the middle of what he was doing. He was like, "Who's Hazel's daddy?" And I said, "That's Jeff." And he was like, "Is this Jeff?" And he thought Jeff Mangum was you. That was part one.
That's cool.
Part two is tonight. I was playing more music, and he was like, "Can we listen to Jeff?" And so I got up your SoundCloud, and we listened to a bunch of SoundCloud songs.
Wait, you listen to me?
Yeah.
How about that?
And we spent Oscar and I spent our whole evening listening to Jeff Dinsmore on SoundCloud.
Did you hear anything good?
Yeah, your Amazing Grace is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
That was for a stage performance.
Oh, was it for the Christmas thing that Jero did?
No, I did another thing. Opelika it was called. I wrote the music for.
It was the craziest.
He needs to go pee-pee.
He needs to go pee-pee.
Got to respond to the pee-pee.
Okay. I'm going to come in and let you go pee-pee. One moment. Okay, this is it, Oscar. Close the eyeballs.
Okay. So I've got this job, and I'm having to drive across town, and I was a little offended when I heard Brian L. Perkins and Brendan talking about it last week because they were assuming that my drive was much longer than it was, but in reality, it's just as long as they assumed. And
interesting. See, that's interesting.
Well, okay. I started out really, like, coming out of the new year, the roads were free and clear. It would take me 50 minutes to get to work, which is not terrible because, like, in LA, you're, like, going at a clip.
Yep, sure.
Now it's just like, sometimes it takes me an hour 45 minutes to get home from work.
Oh, my God.
Fucking insane.
It is. Yeah,
I leave at
I had
5,
to drive.
I'm just like...
I drove to your house once from Fox, and I couldn't fucking believe it. Did they send you over the hill?
What's over the hill?
Like up the 405 and across? Or over the weirdness in the middle?
I wish there was a different way to do it. I'm just going straight through downtown every time. And downtown is like this giant fucking lump of shit in the middle of Los Angeles.
I know. What about...
just like...
Do you use Waze? Because sometimes you go up, whatchamacallit Canyon, Nichols Canyon or whatever. And
I've done that. I mean, I feel like Google Maps has... I prefer Google Maps because I feel like with Waze sometimes I'll put you on these fucking left-hand turns that are just like the most
Waze
brutal
is on
things
crack.
you've ever seen.
I totally agree.
Yeah, so like Google Maps tends to stick to like good routes, but it also adjusts as you're going along. So I use that, but I mean it's still like there's just nothing you can do at some points of the day. You know,
no,
it's like you're just fucked.
Yeah,
you're just fucked.
Yeah.
But I love my job. The job is great.
Oh, let's hear about it. You have a fucking full-time job since the last time I saw you.
Are we interrupting something? We should make sure that we know.
All I talked about was how much we're in one toe. Oh, I have even played the theme song.
Yeah, I think you did.
Let's play it again.
Okay.
You put your one toe in, then leave it in.
You done? That's awesome. I hope you do when you're editing it. Just like play the theme song twice.
Oh yeah, why not?
No, it's the job itself is fucking great. Like everyone there is super chill. They just immediately, there was no like hazing period. Like who's the new guy? No one's breathing down my neck. They're like, we trust you to have good ideas. In the first, I mean, I've been there less than a month, maybe a month at this point, but like we got this this pitch in for Archer to like do, you know, the TV show Archer, FX show. People love it, but they're doing this whole new thing this season, which is fucking crazy, and I'll tell you about it off the air. I'm not allowed to. I'm NDA on it, but this season of Archer is going to like revolutionize television, basically.
Whoa!
So we were brought in to like pitch ideas for how we can like let people know that this season of Archer is revolutionizing television. And one of my pitches was, I'm going to get on Dad Jeans and talk about it, and you're going to get yourself.
Did they go for it? Well, maybe I'll start watching Archer.
That right up. No, but basically this whole pitch, you know, the creative director was like, do you want to do this one? And I was like, okay. So I just like came up with all the ideas, wrote it all up, did the pitch, like talked to the clients.
This is why you were at FX.
Yeah, after 3 weeks, they're just like, yeah, why don't you go in and just talk to the clients about it?
You were in building 103.
I was in your building.
No, it was my building. I'm in the big glass building, or I was.
But I had to walk into your building from the parking
lot, yeah.
Garage,
yeah. So you went to gate 1.
Yeah, I was looking for Shannon. Right. I really, my dream was that I would go onto the Fox lot and all my new coworkers would like, there'd just be all these Dad Jeans fans like running up to me. It didn't really happen. But I was fantasizing.
You should have gone to the 4th floor of building 101.
I wish there had been some sort of crossover or something.
Yeah, sad. Yeah, we were not at all. I was in a union building, and so none of the cable networks are in there.
Yeah, that's fair. I have to mention the real Ramona. I just mentioned Shannon. So
you did.
That was rude of me.
I miss those two.
I would have loved it.
And I miss Joe,
awesome
too.
to see them.
And all the others.
And Brian
Mike,
Kahn.
Mike Stelmar.
Brian Kahn. To see Brian Kahn. I texted him to see if he was up to anything, but he was going to Portland. But anyway, they're just very like respectful of my, like they just immediately integrated me into the team. There was no like, what's this guy? What's he doing?
Oh yeah.
It just felt comfortable from day one.
It is assumed that you have the talent that got you there.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, great. Someone who in your position would have the talent to deal with this particular situation.
Yeah.
It's not like we have a bunch of acronyms that make us feel important.
Right.
And there's some sort of culture you have to get used to.
Yeah.
It's just the world is the world. You've gotten this far. What do you got?
And everyone there, I respect immensely. There's no bullshit there. Like it's very cool.
You have to find her. Good luck. Oh, good job. Oscar, we got some hot mics here. I'm doing a radio show. This is live. This is going out live.
Who's you looking for?
His pacifier.
Ah, I see. That's still happening?
Only in bed. Only ever in bed.
How do you feel about it?
You've
made peace with it.
I've made peace with it, and it is a crucial negotiating tool. Not that I negotiate, but you know.
Yeah. We need to talk about what you and Brian L. Perkins were saying about my parenting style. But let's get into your...
I completely forget.
I remember. It's burned in my brain.
Oh, shit.
Let's get into your one toe, because you are the coolest guy in America right now.
That's how I feel.
After... Cam Neely, or who was the quarterback fella?
That was Tom Brady.
There you go.
I can't believe you just pulled Cam Neely, a person only Bostonians know from the Boston Bruins, out of your butt.
I thought I would send you a little love letter straight from my heart,
dude. With
that one,
my brother was in a band called the Cam Neely.
Are you kidding?
No,
that's fantastic.
And they were
it's actually a really good band name.
Yeah, it was, and they were really good.
Yeah.
He was a drummer.
There's a LA band named Cherry Glazer. Did you know that?
I heard. That's so funny. Named after the woman who reads the morning news.
Yeah.
On KCRW.
Yeah.
She was right before the worst DJ on earth.
Yeah.
But
Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah. I actually heard her interview them.
No way.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it was when the lead singer was like 17 and still in high school, and they were gigging, and now they're like out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And she told the story about how her parents would drive her to school and they would listen to Cherry Glazer on KCRW.
Amazing.
And then she named her whatever after that. Anyway.
It's a great band name.
It's a great band name.
Okay.
I was in a band
Brendan.
called Sluggo. Did I ever tell you that? I was the drummer of a band called Sluggo.
That is a very that's a very grunge sounding band name to me.
It was the very early 90s.
Yeah.
Was that the only band I was in? I was in one more. I was in a band called Chupone.
Chupone.
Yeah.
I have a good name for a band that composed of the... To me, Eminem is best in small doses.
Sure.
Like him and Nicki Minaj.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have amazing guest spots. Like I don't want to listen to an entire Eminem album.
Right. Look for the ones that featuring.
Yeah. But put them in a supergroup called the Small Doses.
Brilliant.
Small Doses, right?
And you know what? In Canada, it already would have happened.
Yeah.
Because everything's better.
Yeah.
Did you see on the Huffington
Trudeau?
Post? Trudeau and
we're just skipping
Ivanka,
around tonight.
I know. We'll get to my thing, but
okay.
Ivanka looking at Trudeau.
Are they married now?
Well, there's this picture of her.
Oh, he's so much sexier than Justin Timberlake or whoever she's married
Bieber
to.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Tim Bieber Lake.
Gerbil boy. What's his name?
Gerbeau jeans.
I think yeah.
From the Gerbeau jeans fortune.
Zeke Averici, if I'm not mistaken.
and the headline.
Beltrami. Sorry, go ahead.
So it's a picture of her, like Trudeau's in the foreground talking to somebody, and she's got her finger under her chin and her mouth is slightly open.
Jared Kushner. That's what
it's Jared Kushner. And the headline on the Huffington Post was something like Ivanka Trump is thirsty AF looking at Justin Trudeau.
Oh, that's good.
And when they say thirsty, don't they mean like for cum?
Yeah. It just means I want that shit.
Oh, it doesn't mean like she wanted to polish his knob?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway.
Ivanka, suck your dick. Oh, Jesus.
Did you just make that up?
It's falling apart. Yeah,
it's falling apart.
I did. But
no, this is a very blue episode.
It's a very blue.
Jeffrey.
Okay. Brendan.
So guess what?
Do tell.
I'm just wheels down.
Wheels down?
I'm just wheels down.
What the fuck?
2 nights ago.
No
what
shit.
The fuck, man?
Yeah.
2 nights ago.
Okay.
I just got back from a little northeastern hamlet on the coast.
Okay.
Which is adorable bridges and buildings and outbuildings.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Is it anywhere near the Hudson River?
It is.
Okay.
Sandwiched between the Hudson and the East River.
Okay. And the Potomac, where's that?
Several hundred miles to the south.
Okay. Sure. It's in that sort of world, though, right?
But yeah,
America.
Atlantic.
Yeah.
The seaboard.
Okay.
And
the Mississippi, mighty Mississippi, sort of adjacent, right?
Yeah, if you were aiming for the Mississippi, this would be a ball high and inside.
Okay. Learning a lot about geography tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, tell me about this.
So I was hired.
This village that you were in.
I was
this quaint little village,
a pastoral village.
Yep.
Island.
Yep.
An island nation.
Okay.
Known as Manhattan.
Oh.
And
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a lovely town.
I've escaped from that before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Call me Snake Plissken.
I certainly will, Mr. Plissken.
Okay.
Right this way.
Mr. Plissken. Mr. Plissken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get a text from my buddy Matthew, who I adore, and he teaches at Pace University.
In what
this is a couple months
era
ago.
Is this? Okay.
And
a couple months ago.
And this actually foretold my leaving Fox because I leapt at this chance.
So this was when you were in Los Angeles. You got this.
Yeah, like September or so.
Okay,
maybe October. Okay. And he was like, "Hey, do you want to come make a movie with my acting students here at Pace University?"
Yes, I do.
And I was like, "Sure, yeah, fuck it." He was like, "Hey, the idea is we hire a professional director."
And that's you,
I guess.
Yeah.
And you make a short film with our students.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote back and I was like, this is all by text. And I was like,
you get to have sex with them?
Yeah.
Is that one of the...
There was a lot of crying. Mostly me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that part.
Right. A lot of nudity on your part.
Yeah.
Taking off your shirt.
I can't direct with clothes on, Jeffrey.
You're beautiful. Is that what you're... The students took over the cameras and they were just filming you.
They had to do everything because I was fetal.
Yeah.
I was fetal and just like rubbing Jello on my pink parts.
It happens.
So
can I just let me?
Oh, please.
Let me just snapshot that real quick. That someone wrote to, who was it? Oh, David Simon. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter, but someone wrote to David Simon and said he was like, all you libtards are just curled up in the fertile position.
In the fertile position?
In the fertile position. And then I wrote back, or I tweeted back to David Simon, I woke up in the fertile position this morning and I had to think about baseball to get my day started. And he liked my...
He did?
He liked my response.
Oh,
that was
that's
a
huge.
Good day.
He has a MacArthur Genius Award.
Does he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about the...
He's an American treasure.
He is an
American treasure liked your tweet.
It is true. So tell me about your fertile position. No, we're going so far down this route of just like making each other laugh, but our listeners demand information. So you actually directed a film in New York City.
Yeah. I directed a film in New York City that I was paid to direct.
That's fucking amazing.
But it gets crazier.
Okay.
Because as he was offering me the job, I mean, then I had to interview for it, whatever.
Okay.
But then like I was like, well, who's going to write it? And he was like, you write it.
Really?
Yeah.
So they had nothing. They just had an idea that
they want to bring someone in. And here are 6 students.
And that's probably like I'm sure you're not a millionaire now, but like universities have money. They can
college money.
Pay to do that.
It was exactly a living wage. It was a month at Fox, which was great, and it's taking me a month of my life.
Fantastic.
So it was like Fox replacement for a month. It was awesome.
Okay.
And I have never. So Jeff, I had to muster a lot of courage to write something. I've written
in a short time frame as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You couldn't fuck around.
No, I couldn't fuck around. I had to be
couldn't resort to
top of this shit.
Your worst demons. You had to really like push through.
Right. And so now I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. Do you know I wake up at 4 a.m. every day?
I'm impressed.
And that because 4 to 7 is when the art lives.
When do you go to bed?
8. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 8:30, 9 if it's crazy. If it's a crazy night, I go to bed at 9. But Jeff, the only way to have creative output is to wake up at 4 a.m.
That's true.
Period.
I'm better at night. I stay up until midnight and then I'm exhausted the whole next day. That's what I do.
That works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That used to be me.
Okay.
I'm also better at night, but that Brendan hasn't existed for years.
Yeah, you can't make it exist.
You can't. I get too
Even though you only have a single child to deal with.
I know. There's that too.
Deuce.
Yeah.
I have Deuce.
You have Deuce.
Sarah's not dealing with those children on her own. But continue. Okay, so you fly out to New York City. Did you get flown out?
No, that was the only thing. I was a local hire, but still, fuck it, because out of this I get a free short film. It's insane because I get all the locations around whatever, and they're in Lower Manhattan.
And let me say, or let me ask you this: so, did you basically you got this assignment, and you're like, I'm going to make this fucking work for me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Big
you're
time.
like, I'm going to make.
So I'm
the
just
short film that I want to make.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I've got free actors.
Yeah, exactly. Free actors, free location, free art department, free everything.
Art department.
Yeah,
amazing.
I had 2 indefatigable guys who were creating locations for me. So we'd wrap
anything
a scene.
you wanted. You didn't have to put a fucking ad on Craigslist. You didn't have to deal with the bullshit of casting. It was just there.
It was just there.
Right.
They were like, here. Did
you cast?
No. But I won the lottery because I got 6 of the most adorable and wonderful human beings on earth.
Amazing.
All of whom have incredible futures in the acting game.
19. How old are these kids?
I think they're all seniors. They're like all 21, 22.
Okay.
And fucking
cream of the crop.
Awesome.
At Pace University.
Great kids.
I don't know anything about Pace. Is that what is that?
It's some sort of university in New York.
Is it arts focused?
I don't know. This is a program where these actors are taught. They aren't taught like the ancient dark arts of theater.
Okay.
Which are relatively
They're
useless.
not walking around with masks on their face and
whatnot? No. They're taught
Okay.
specifically how to do voiceover, which is good because there's a lot of voiceover in my film.
Cool.
They're taught specifically how to do commercial acting, like for commercials. Like they're taught the actual trade of actual acting.
That's good.
Versus this other shit.
Right.
Which is actually great because it's like, oh, okay, so there's a craft and this is the actual craft. It's not like in ancient times, Aphra Bean wrote a play in the year 1066 during the Norman conquest.
What are you're going to go graduate and then go like feel like shit for your entire career because you're not doing Shakespeare or whatever?
Exactly.
Like you got to be like, hey, this is what it's like being a writer. Like right now, I'm just like, oh, I should be writing a fucking of War and Peace or some Tolstoy-esque shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Some bullshit like that.
No.
But no, it's I'm writing ads.
But
cool.
guess what? You know who else did that kind of shit? Kierkegaard.
Yeah. You know who else? Wallace Shawn. Remember that with that Yugo commercial?
He came up with "Where's the Beef."
Yeah, he came up with "I Go Yugo." That's Wallace Shawn's.
Did he?
No, I just made that up. I don't even know if that was their tagline. I'm bringing Yugo back.
The Yugo.
I Go Yugo. That's good. I Go Yugo.
That's really good.
Did they use that?
Jeff, did you just make that up?
Literally.
This is how good you are.
Off the dome.
Off the dome. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting in the presence of greatness.
Focus.
Back. So I wrote a movie. It's a short film. It was 16. Actually, when I got on the plane
16 minutes?
Yeah. Well, when I got on the plane.
That's a long short film.
It was 14 pages.
Okay.
And when I got off the plane, it was 16 pages.
And every fucking word, every shot, everything matters in that time frame.
And I sued the living shit out of this movie.
Is it funny?
I certainly hope so. I think so.
It's meant to be funny.
Can I recite two of my favorite lines?
Oh, please.
Okay. At one point, someone says, I didn't make this up, but dick's out for Harambe.
Love it.
And at another point, someone looks into the camera.
Does that happen? Do people take their dicks out?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's speaking in code.
I see.
Would you like to know the premise of my little film?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everyone listening wants to know this premise.
Okay. The title is Unpaid Interns.
Love it.
And it's about an eco-terrorism cell of activists that are all 21 years old and decide to bankrupt a multinational energy corporation from the inside by becoming unpaid interns.
In 16 pages.
In their financial risk department.
In 16 pages, you've got this.
Yeah.
You think in like micro dots.
Oh yeah, it's like bing, gada bang, gada boom. Yeah.
I love it.
It's pretty fast.
I love it.
It's fast, and then suddenly there's a whole scene.
Do you have wipes?
Lots of wipes.
Lots of wipes.
I love it. Lots of freeze frames. Lots of split screen.
Is it like what was your last one?
Chronicle Simpkins.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nothing but split screen. It's a little bit different.
I really enjoyed the style of that.
Oh, thank you.
I thought it just like it. I told you this when it came out that I was just blown away, Brendan. I hope that's up online. Can people see it?
Nope.
Oh, but
maybe someday. I might as well release it.
Nothing to be cagey about with this film. Like it was just like there was so much style in that movie.
Oh,
it was just very. I really enjoyed that movie.
Thank you, man.
I thought it was great.
It warms the cockles because I actually am completely like a little bit torn up about that movie because I made a bunch of what I see as sort of crucial errors. What that torpedoed it a little bit.
Did not come across to the audience.
Really?
Did not come across.
That makes me feel better.
I thought it was just clever, just really a lot of style.
Maybe I'll put it online.
You should definitely put it online.
Okay, it just sits there as this mediocre thing I did.
Put it out.
Okay.
Put it out.
But then I actually did put it on Reddit and just to the filmmaker subreddit and was like, here's the password. I'm totally in my head. What do you guys think? And the conclusion is 40% of people in the world, and these are my people, fucking love it. And 60% are like, ugh, what are you doing?
That is exactly what you want with your art.
You're right. 40% are devotees and 60% hate my guts.
40% is like, do you think 40% of the public loves David Lynch?
Oh, definitely not.
Fuck no. Like 10%.
Oh my God. I watched Jason Bourne on the plane. I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen since Ice Pirates.
And you said that on a plane.
Yeah.
Ice Pirates is good. Come on.
Ice Pirates is great. Looking back, it's brilliant.
Yeah. But when you're on a plane, you like everything.
I know, but Jason Bourne, it was unwatchable.
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Let's keep, because we still got a lot of fucking sections to move through.
Yeah, I know, it's true. So anyway, so I just spent a week.
Awesome.
Rediscovering, like literally getting my groove back. I haven't directed in 3.5 years. And this turned me into a monster.
Was it exhilarating?
It was exilarating.
Oh, I love it.
It was so fun.
You should be directing. That's why I've from the moment I've met you, I feel like you're a director, and you spent this entire podcast saying directing is garbage, but you're good at it.
Oh, thank you.
That is a skill. You're good at it.
This last week made me feel like I was very much in the zone and like in my element, and I knew exactly what I was doing.
I love it.
And I felt great. It was the greatest artistic week I've had in years.
Awesome.
It was fabulous.
It was like fun, right?
It was so fun.
Good.
Everything.
Good.
Even when I was pissing everybody
Long
off
days?
and longer, like call at 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. because it wasn't union.
Okay.
And then the next day the same thing.
Okay.
It was insane.
Was it location shots, or were you in
mostly one location, but then there was a couple other here and there, and we were snowed out one day.
Ooh.
I was supposed to shoot a Thursday night, a Friday night, and then a Saturday and Sunday day.
Okay.
But the Thursday night was canceled because of the big fucking snowstorm that hit New York, so I had to shoot it in 2.5 total days. And I went and watched instead on the snow day the Oscar-nominated live-action shorts.
Yeah.
Which was playing at the IFC, on 4th Street. Have you ever been there in New York?
Yes,
New York.
of course.
That's where I was. I forgot to mention before. New York City.
Sure.
They're horrible.
Really?
Here's the formula for guaranteeing yourself an Oscar nomination for a live-action short.
Yeah.
No, number 1,
Yeah.
be European.
Okay.
Number 2, purvey schmaltz.
Okay.
It was utter
That's it?
schmaltz.
Really?
But it was in Danish, so amazing.
How long are these shorts?
They're endless. They're a half hour long, all these fucking things.
No.
Shorts are supposed to be like 12 minutes.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I'm like, and these things were horrible, A. And B, they were just in another language. I wish I could go back and make Chronicle Simpkins in French because I would have an Oscar right now.
Yeah, probably true.
You just have to make a movie in French and they fucking jizz all over your bullshit.
How do you even, what's the trajectory there? There's so many fucking short films.
I know.
How do you even get in the Oscars?
Be European, seriously.
And
I
have
swear to
money
God.
behind you, You because all these people get grants from the
from
country.
their home government, and
Right.
they did have high production value.
Yeah.
But they were garbage.
I had a text about this today that you can really cover up a lot of
yeah.
shit with.
Not with me, but you can with everybody. It seems with everybody else. Yeah,
Sure.
Jason Bourne has huge production value.
Yeah.
And is horrible.
I'm sure.
But yeah, you're right. You can put one over on the public with high production value.
You really can.
It's really annoying.
So where are we at now? What's
so
now
the
latest?
I'm about to start
you have
editing.
the footage. You're about
It's in the can, and I made my days.
Have you watched the footage?
I've spot checked it, but
Do you feel like
I'm a little
you captured
scared too.
what you wanted to capture?
Yeah, on the day I was like, we got this. And
Okay.
I found this incredible cinematographer, this guy named Jamal Solomon, who I'll just sing his name to the mountaintops.
Is it a whole new? Is he the guy you were hugging on Facebook?
No, that was one of the actors.
Is it a whole new world in which you've got the monitor right there? You're actually seeing exactly what you're capturing.
Oh yeah, Jamal had a little handheld monitor that I had a feed right off the camera, so I'd put headphones on and have the feed, and I watched the whole thing.
Amazing. So you're watching the movie while you're shooting it, basically.
Yeah, there's
Awesome.
I can't do it any other way because otherwise you have no idea what you're getting.
Did you feel okay? Tell me about working with actors. Did that just?
Oh yeah, it came right back to me.
That came right back.
Yep, and they were totally receptive.
You feel like you know how to guide actors?
Yeah, in a way that okay, here's this crazy thing. If you don't mind me doing. Tell me when this gets boring. Okay, I had this exercise in grad school once where we were studying. The first year you studied Chekhov the whole time.
Okay,
and Chekhov, Strindberg, and some other Ibsen. But the first one but Chekhov, right? And so I directed a scene that Matthew, who got me this job, was in, and he's also in the movie I just directed.
Interesting.
Matthew Humphreys, a brilliant actor.
Okay,
so we had the third-year actors come into our directing practicum, and we each had to do these crazy theater, whatever's interpretations, something.
Okay.
And Chekhov, I was doing Uncle Vanya, I think, and Chekhov, he loved those trees. He was a tree lover, tree hugger,
okay.
And trees figure prominently, symbolically in all his plays. And so I decided, I did this one scene that had to take place in a forest, and two people are saying goodbye, and then one person is going to go off to a duel and be killed, and he knows it, and he's saying, and he doesn't want her to know, blah blah blah. Very sad. And I decided to put a bunch of other actors, because there's a room full of actors with nothing to do. I was like, everyone stand on a folding chair around them, and you are the trees. And trees, I said, are where people go when they die, and they become ghosts. Our ghosts, you become a tree when you die in this magical world we're creating.
Okay.
And they did the scene, it was great, and all the actors stood there. And my professors very smartly were like, why didn't you give the trees any direction? And I was like, well, there was trees, and they were like, yeah, but they're also human beings who are playing the trees. And so at any given moment, if any human is acting for you at any level doing any amount, you should give them something to do. And I was like, holy shit. And I took that to heart forever thereafter.
Wow.
And so I had all these extras, and I would run up to them, and I heard coming out of my mouth playable actions based on very quick things that I was like, oh my God, this is like riding. It is like riding a bike.
Right.
It's all coming back to me, and I really love doing it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it's great.
I love that. I feel like you've broken through. As we've seen you in Dad Jeans, like we've seen you in your repressed stage, and now you've broken through, and now you're out of the closet, baby.
I'm out of the
closet.
closet.
Out and proud, baby.
Out and proud.
I want to be black. I want to be. Yeah.
I'm here. I am queer.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
Love it. I love it. Welcome.
I am
Welcome,
back.
Brendan.
Thank you.
It's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Have you? Do you listen to What the Fuck, the Mark Maron podcast?
I try. It's all ads for the first 40 minutes.
I know. They really do a lot of that.
I did listen to one episode with Harmony Korine, and I wound up loving Harmony Korine.
Yes, well, that often happens, which is why I stick with it, because like people I have no interest in, well, I'll be like, oh my God, this person's amazing. Like Jason Schwartzman. Like, Jason Schwartzman's a great guy.
He's Mr. Nepotism, but he's
super cool.
But he's cool. Okay.
But is a woman, I'm blanking on her name. She was on Saturday Night Live, and
I know who you're talking about.
She got kicked off, and then she was on Transparent. She was in Transparent.
Oh.
Did you watch Transparent?
The pilot.
Oh, wow. You'd have to keep watching. But blanking on her name. But she was talking about how Jill Soloway directs the extras. You have to listen to this episode because it gave me so much respect for Jill Soloway.
Huh.
Like she did this whole thing where they were at this there's this big portion of season 2, I think, that's set at a resort in the 60s for men who cross-dressed, and it was like the one place that they could go and be themselves, you know. And so Jill Soloway like packed this place with extras, and many of them were transgender and gay and blah blah blah. And she went around the crowd of extras like before filming began, and she was like, "You are special. Like I want." And she created this whole film, like this whole edit of these great extra scenes in film history, and she was like pointing out like, look at all these people in this shot, like, you know, Fellini, blah blah blah, like you are like adding so much to the experience for the viewer. And then she went around and she started talking to everyone. She was like, what's your character, and like this is for like 80 extras, and like by the end of it they like just gave her a standing ovation because they had never been treated with this much respect, you know?
Oh my God.
So it's like exactly that kind of thing. Like just recognizing that you are a part of the greater thing. You're not just cattle, you know?
Yeah.
You are exactly what makes it a world. It's not just like about...
Right.
Yeah.
And the magnitude of a single human being. If there's a single human being way in the distance, it's the same thing like when extras just like get killed in stupid action movies.
Right.
Stormtroopers even.
Sure.
Even though they're like clones of Boba Fett's father or some bullshit.
Is that really?
Something.
Mitochondria or something?
Stupid. But
Mitochlorians or
Mitochlorians.
I didn't see the... you saw the Han Solo movie?
You mean the one that Rogue One?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, everyone hated it. I thought it was great.
Everyone hated it? I thought people loved it.
I don't know.
It was like gritty, right?
No,
like
it's the same.
Jason Bourne of...
No, it's the same as all the others.
Oh, that's just silly.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I have all the action figures, though.
Oh, do you?
Can we move on?
Yeah, we probably should. We should really budget our time.
Fuck my one toes.
I'm going to be putting out... I'm going to probably send it around to festivals and then eventually put it online because I'm really excited about this one.
I'm super excited to see it. I'm very excited.
Excellent.
Can we do a Kids Are More Important now? I have one for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go.
Our hopes and our dreams are losing their steam. They're futile anyhow. Don't you know? Kids are more important now.
Okay, so I'm in my job. I'm getting to work in tons of different like cool areas. One of the things that my company does, Digital Kitchen is the name of the company. We do experiential design.
Oh yeah.
So
XD.
Listen to you.
MVD.
So we did this whole thing with OMG. We did this whole thing with Carnival Cruises, where they created this little medallion that you get. They ship you your medallion like when you register, and you wear it on your wrist. And as you go around the ship, like there are all these experiences that will happen, like that are triggered by your medallion.
Yeah.
So like you create this jellyfish at home, and it's like your personal jellyfish. In every room that you walk into, like your jellyfish will appear on the screens, and like,
oh, that's kind of genius. So you have a little pilotfish companion.
it's called a tag along. Yeah, it's like your little tag along that's just like hanging out with you like the whole.
That's amazing.
Vacation. It's amazing. But like all these different things. And then at the end,
and then you would miss it at the end.
And then at the end of the trip, well, you can get a stuffed animal of your tag along.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. It's like all these different like new ways.
That's a level of genius I can't even comprehend.
It is. I'm not kidding you. Like talking to these guys who do this stuff, it is just like, and like they're super deep into psychology about like what is the experience. And like one thing that they told me, which I think is so fascinating. You go to a restaurant and you're sitting at a table and you're having a delicious meal, and then you look over at the table next to you and it's someone's birthday and they're getting treated better, and suddenly your meal is not as good. So like the goal of experiential design is to make everyone feel like the experience has been tailored uniquely toward them and that they're not missing out. There's no one else better than them.
Wow.
Like, so basically it's all about like keeping up with the Johnsons, right?
Yeah.
But like there's all these things. Like one of them is like you like they get to know on board this cruise like what your drinking preferences are, and then like they'll even create drinks to your specific taste, like drinks that have never been mixed before.
Oh my God.
Like they know that you like salt, they know you like sangria, they know you like blah blah blah, and then they mix it all up and you've got your own drink. And then for the rest of your life when you're on a Carnival cruise, they know that that's your drink. So like just cool, like personalized experiences. But the point is, as I was watching all these videos about this, I started thinking, I would really like to go on a cruise.
Oh yeah.
And I just reached that like moment in my brain where I was like, oh, I get it. Like I have kids. Like, I don't want to go into the fucking wilderness and forge my own path. I want to go someplace where everything is there and I don't have to do shit. And someone will take my children away from me. Like, and I will just be able to sit there and fucking not think about anything. Like, I suddenly understood the appeal.
Oh my God.
I was like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, or to a resort or just like something like that where it's just like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm not a hipster anymore. Like, I have no rep to like.
No.
I go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, you don't want to churn your own butter.
No, I get it. I get why people enjoy that kind of thing.
Yes.
It's like superficial and absurd and ridiculous, but it's just done for you. You don't have to think about it, you know? So we're thinking about taking Hazel on a Disney cruise.
But leave Eli back?
No, we'll take him too. I don't know what he's going to do.
Can I come too? Emily hates cruises, but I've always wanted to go on one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, see, you're open like that.
Yeah.
But she's just like, she's holding herself back. She hasn't come out into the light yet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
She's still doing
her
she
heart
still
is
does
scattered
things kind of the hard way.
Yeah. Well, okay. No, I need to take a respite, or I need to take a sideline.
Okay.
Because I need to respond to a thing.
Brian and
Let's put it under Dad versus Dad, maybe. Just so we can have a theme song.
Okay, here comes Dad versus Dad.
In this corner, Dad. In the other corner, Dad. Dad versus Dad.
You seem to have a bone to pick.
I have quite a bone to pick.
Really?
With this last episode. I was listening to it. I was enjoying it. You guys seem charming. You seem to be getting along just great.
All he talked about was how he wanted to be your best friend.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He should have been talking about more than that. No, it was fantastic, actually. It was really fun to be just an observer. But there was one moment that I sensed.
Did we betray your confidence?
I sensed a little bit of snark in Mr. Perkins' way of describing my parenting style.
Okay, Brian.
And I wanted to set the record straight.
Welcome, sir, to
my wrath.
No,
the wrath of
welcome to being on the air. Welcome to being an on-air personality.
Yeah.
You've pissed people off,
and now I can respond, and hopefully he'll call back, and we'll have a whole thing. But he just said something about like he was talking about and he said it in a respectful way, actually. But he was talking about with his kids how he's like, yeah, Dinsmore, I try to do that thing that Dinsmore does where he like respects their feelings and like asks them how they're doing and how they're feeling all the time, and I can't do that. But it felt very dismissive to me, and it felt very misunderstanding.
Oh, like you're kind of woo-woo?
Of what my style, what our style is, what we believe. Which I don't think, for some reason, I don't know if it's come across poorly in the telling. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't feel that like, I don't feel like we're doing anything groundbreaking in terms of how we parent our children.
Or particularly hippie?
Or not in the slightest bit hippie. Uh-huh. I mean, I lose my shit for sure, but like it's not about I think it's impossible to just be like, how are you feeling all the time to your kids?
Oh yeah, because they're always feeling like they want to manipulate you.
Yeah, let me think about that. I don't know if I feel that anymore.
Okay, it's their job from 3.5 to 4.5 to manipulate you.
I mean, I think there's moments of that, sure, but that's where you have to draw boundaries and be like, yeah, this is for your own good. We're going to do this.
Yeah, you're witnessing it happen to me tonight.
Yeah, sure. And everyone deals with the same shit. It's not like kids are like. I don't feel like I feel like the options are be honest and conscious of your children's development, or just fucking slap them down and like fill them full like of traumas that make them afraid to be themselves.
Right. And then ultimately Republicans.
Yeah. Well, who knows? But I feel like that was probably our parents' generation, their parents even worse than that, but like, it's not like you can be open to your children and you can listen to them and you can, empathize with them without being a pushover.
Right. Yes. True.
So I think that's what gets lost in the translation a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I felt as if Brian L. Perkins had this view that like we were like sort of pushovers.
Oh, I see. But you're feeling like you are threading the needle by being spineful yet allowing them to flourish at the same time, and that it isn't a zero-sum game between those two things.
Yeah. Trying to. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're not great. We're not perfect. But like, it's just like, like a very typical thing is like, you're okay. You're okay. Like when a kid falls down and you say, you're okay. Like, is that...
Or don't cry.
Or don't cry. Sure. What is that doing for the child?
Right.
Like that might make you feel better as an adult. But to me, that's a very childish response for an adult to have.
Agreed.
Like, I think to recognize, whatever happened, like maybe it wouldn't have bothered me, but it bothers you because you're only 3 years old. You only have 3 years of experience. You fell down and you scraped yourself and you don't yet know like, it'll be better tomorrow. Like you have no future projection skills. So like, it's probably really traumatic for you right now. And like to recognize that and accept it and not feel like that's aimed at you somehow. Like it feels like a very narcissistic thing to be like, oh, you're okay, you'll be better.
Right.
You're not.
Stop bothering me. Stop bothering me with your authentic experience.
Yeah,
right now.
Exactly. Like it is her or his authentic experience.
Let me run by you. I want to field test my strategy when Oscar falls down and hurts himself.
Yeah.
Which is neither of those two things.
Yeah.
Mine is usually I try and
give him a bunch of peeps. Just fill him full of peeps.
Just like try and get him to gain 5 pounds as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I like that. Love it.
And we start microwaving peeps instantly. So I just put peeps in the microwave the moment I hear him crying.
Perfect. Okay.
So I try and have an anxiety-free response.
Okay.
So
that's good.
But one where it's empathy with zero anxiety. So he falls over and I'm like, oof. Yeah. I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Done.
But it's not like, are you okay?
Sure.
And it's not, you're fine. It's the third way of like, That's the worst.
I think that is what I would do. Sure. Or that's what I would hope I would do.
That's what I try and do. I want to be like, are you okay? But I know that would make him a basket case.
Yeah. No, I think that's demonstrating empathy. And then that, like, in some small part of their brain, I feel like that lodges for the next time they see their friend fall down, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, fuck, yeah, I get that, man. That sucks.
And that's actually probably exactly what he would say, because that's what I say. I'm like, oh, fuck,
yeah.
man, that sucks. I'm dead serious. And then he'll be like, oh, fuck. And actually often, like, I'll be driving and I'll, like, miss a turn. I'm like, oh, fuck. And instantly he's like, why you say fuck?
Nice. Awesome. So he gets it.
He gets it.
Yeah, no, that's all we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. That's it, right?
Well, you must have been pounding your dashboard the way Brian does every week.
Oh my God, you don't even know. You should see my dashboard. I'll take you out after the show. It's got
good
like
dents
fucking
in it.
Claw marks. Well, I wear brass knuckles on the way to work just in case anyone fucks with me. Someone is honking at me today. I'm like they're just trying to fucking thread the needle, just like going in. We got two lanes merging into one. I'm in front. I'm in front. This other guy's creeping up behind me, and he starts honking at me. I'm like, no, I got the right of way here, bro. Yeah. Like, what? I'm supposed to know that you're allowed to overpower me and go in front?
We're all in his movie.
Fuck him. Let's move on to... Do you have a lot of other things?
I have 2 pieces of fatherly advice, and I'm struggling for a spite because I had such a great time in New York.
Oh, that's so sweet. I want to do a quick leisure class.
Okay.
And then we'll do spite and fatherly, okay?
Okay, here we come. Yep. Leisure class.
Come on, everybody. We're going to school. Now it's time to find out what Dad thinks is cool. It's leisure class. Dad Jean's leisure class.
Quick leisure class. I have 2 TV shows to recommend to people.
Oh, good.
One called Search Party. Mm-hmm. I think it was TBS.
Rings a bell.
It's starring Aaliyah Shawkat from...
yeah, I've heard about this.
And
I love her.
It is so good. It is so good. It's like, it's a millennial mystery story, and it's 12 episodes, I think, and it comes to the most satisfying conclusion of any television show I've ever seen. Like, it is just like,
oh my God,
it tells a full story, and at the end you're like, fuck yes, you're like, that is exactly how this thing should end.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it still like leaves things open for a potential season 2. It's really brilliant, really funny, really just great, like very good. Great characters. Like, it is what girls should be, even though I actually like girls, but I feel like it's...
Are you still hanging in with girls after all these years?
I actually haven't. Sarah watches it all, but I respect... I feel like Lena Dunham did it first.
Sure.
And I give her credit for that.
Tiny Furniture is a great movie.
I was mixed on that. I thought it was fine. Mm-hmm. But okay, let's move on to Legion.
Oh, yes. I saw you posting about this.
Legion is the best thing I've seen on TV in years.
Legion
is incredible.
What network is it on?
FX.
Oh, okay. So I would have to like buy it on iTunes or some bullshit.
Probably. They might have it they might have like the first episode for free.
Oh, that's how they get you.
But it is fucking incredible. It's a Stanley Kubrick movie on TV.
Oh, you're kidding.
It is like, the art direction on this thing is gorgeous.
Whoa.
And the script is really good.
Oh my God.
And it's Marvel, but it's like, doesn't feel like a movie, like a comic booky at all. Like, it feels like, I don't know what this Marvel title is. I don't know. I guess it's related to X-Men somehow, but like, yeah, it's great. Really great.
That's fantastic.
Okay, 2 recommendations, and now let's move into Spike Club.
Oh, Spike Club.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spike Club! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spike Club! Fuck!
I don't know if I've done this before. I think you and I have talked about this on the Twitters or the tweets or the Snapchats or the whatever we use.
The Shazam flips.
The Shashamazums, which is the new thing. Shashamazum.
.com.
Yeah, .com. Dogs in the Office. Have you worked in...
When I worked at Troika, there was a dog.
Okay.
You probably have met that dog.
I have met... I guess they're just always like, it's like fucking working in a fucking like Junkanoo or something, some like fucking shanty town.
Wait,
yeah.
Did you just make up the word Junkanoo, or is that a word I've just never come across?
It's like a Bahamanian word. I learned that on my cruises.
Junkanoo.
No, like a shanty town. It's like there's fucking dogs sniffing
tin roofs.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what is this, the post-apocalypse?
Yeah.
I'm here to, like, edit something.
Listen, I get the idea of it. I'm all for, I don't know if this happens anywhere besides LA. This feels like a very LA thing to me, like people being allowed to bring their dogs to work. I want to, like, I like dogs. I want to like this thing, but it's just like you're trying to work. We've got the office I'm working in now, like this guy's got this puppy who's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, like adorable puppy, super sweet. But every time the guy leaves his desk, the puppy is yelping.
Oh. No, that's no good.
I gotta listen to that.
No bueno.
All fucking day?
No,
it's terrible. Like, when did dogs get the right to like disrupt the space in this way? Like, I don't bring my baby to the office.
Yeah.
You know? Can I bring Elijah and he'll just walk around and yelp all day? Like,
right.
That'd be great for me. It'd be much easier.
And toss him treats and be like, hey guys, watch this.
Yeah.
And he walks out, he starts walking up to other people, get him to pet his head.
Yeah. But I don't know, somehow dogs in the office became like a thing. Like it's like a sign that you're cool as a company or something.
Yeah.
And I fully dispute that. Done. What's yours? Spike Club?
I just had to. I'm jerry-rigging this to be a spike. I'm gerrymandering this into a Spike Club.
Okay.
It's not exactly Spike Club, but it's something I noticed in New York, and
okay.
I'll frame it. I'll couch it this way because we're in this segment.
Please.
I am annoyed that New York doesn't have any disadvantages as a city. It basically like clobbers everything around it all the time.
City.
It's the privileged city, et cetera, et cetera. But having said that, it does not get much credit for the compassion of its inhabitants, particularly the clearly like native for generations inhabitants.
Oh,
and here's what I mean.
They're very nice.
And no one talks about that. It's only the transplants that are dicks. So
that's probably true.
Like
you got troubles on the subway? A fucking native New Yorker is going to help you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When grocery shopping, when I lived in Harlem, I would get to the bottom of the stairs, wouldn't even have to turn around. It was lifted from behind me. And someone was helping me up the stairs with it.
It's amazing.
It was amazing.
I love that.
But only native New Yorkers do that. Not the people from the fucking suburbs who scared
fucking
of everybody.
hipsters are looking at you and sniffing their noses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of a feat. You have to. I can't even be mad because how do you sniff your own nose? But the point is,
they're like, what? Yeah, I got a short film. What's your short film about? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So they got that look in their eye.
Wow, Jeff, for the first time in my life in this conversation, I used the phrase "my first short film."
I love
That's very exciting. Maybe I'll make a feature one day.
Warms my cockles.
So, so the rental house of one of my short films, my second one, I believe.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It was a couple days ago. Was on the street where the crane had fallen. Do you remember that story? There was a giant crane on top of a building that fucking fell onto the street.
Jesus.
And it was horrible.
Did it brain a young co-ed?
It did not brain a young co-ed.
Yeah.
But it did brain a municipal worker to
Did it really?
To death.
Oh, that's not fun.
Really sad.
It was a terrible story.
I know it's horrible. And I'm in the rental house.
Yeah.
And the guy, and you know how native New Yorkers, this guy, like he'd already mentioned he lives on Staten Island.
Okay.
And he's like, ba-da-ba-ba-bo. He's one of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like Vinny or Jimmy or whatever.
Sure.
And he's like, and he started telling this story about the crane, and like everyone around here is talking. They said it was like a bomb going off, and this is in Lower Manhattan. This is like in the area of the World Trade. I was working in the shadow of the One World Trade this whole time. Okay. He's like, people in this neighborhood, bombs. It's just not a good thing.
Sure.
And then he was like, and it landed on this car, and I'm doing in Boston, but whatever. And he's like, and he's sitting there, he's reading his paper, he's got his coffee, he's looking at his phone, and boom, it comes down right in the middle. And something about so that just goes by, and that's like you walk by a doorway in New York, and you hear three cops talking, and they're telling some sort of story like that. Okay. And here's what I noticed: these Goombas from New York always inhabit other perspectives in their storytelling. So I'm this guy, and I'm walking, and they put themselves in the point of view of their characters and speak in the first person. And this guy's like, I'm sitting in my car, I'm drinking my coffee, I'm
it's like empathy.
I'm reading the sport. Yes, exactly. And that is, it struck me suddenly where I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That is like, And it's like this very unspoken, like not like loud and proud.
Right.
Isn't it horrible? Lip quivering, like eyes welling. No, it's just like matter of fact. Life is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And so I might be this guy. I'm myself. It's a humble point of view. And I was like, that's actually really refreshing because I can only picture like someone in our fair city of Los Angeles telling that story, the further west, not out here in the east.
Sure.
Telling a story and being like, there was like $500,000 worth of damage of real estate. No, they were talking about like damage to real estate, or like he was sitting in a really expensive car. You know, like, so that, like they wouldn't like actually like inhabit the thing or whatever.
Well, but okay, maybe, but also like, what's our equivalent of that? It's probably like Latinos from like you know, second generation Mexicans, right?
Who
like,
have lived here since before it was the United States.
Yeah, or like I feel like I'm probably maybe they've lived here since 1980.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
But I'm just thinking like what's like in New York, it's very. I totally hear that, but like when you think of like East Coast liberals or whatever, like the thing that gets painted as New York, like to me that is such a huge. Those people are such a huge part of New York, like having lived there. But like what you think of when you think of liberal New York, it's all people from other places.
It's Lena Dunham, although she's a native.
Well, okay, that's true. Well, you've got that too, but that's a very small. That feels like a very small percentage of New York to me.
Oh yeah,
I feel like New York is a lot of people who fled small towns.
Yep.
It's like the fucking bread and butter dudes like that you're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe a tinier percentage of like the 1% or whatever. Like the 1% is the 1% or whatever. But so it's interesting to me that like in a city as big as that and as diverse as that, like it gets pigeonholed as one tiny sliver of it.
When it's the most diverse city in the world.
Yeah, totally.
It should be seen as the microcosm that it is.
So what's
the macrocosm that it is.
In 4 words, what's your Spike Club here?
My Spike Club is that compassion, that true compassion is invisible.
And I love it.
And what we think of as compassion is actually kind of a hollow representation of it for credit.
Okay.
But real compassion is out there, and it's hiding in plain sight, but no one can see it.
True compassion is invisible. Brendan Hughes. 10
time of
something.
Time of birth PM. Of that thought, 10:08 p.m.
10:08 p.m.
Yep.
February 15th. 2017. Brilliant.
Fatherly advice, shall we?
Help me, Daddy. Fatherly advice. Help me, Daddy. Fatherly advice. This is not that great, but this is advice for parents. When you feel like you're digging in your heels, stop.
Oh, with your kids?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Just don't dig in. There's no reason to dig in.
Don't fight fire with fire.
You're just creating, like, you're just being immature.
Yep.
That does not work with children. Don't dig in your heels.
It's not about winning.
If it's not about winning, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like if your kid is running out into the street, then you have to be like, don't fucking run out in the street.
Yeah.
Like you got to be strong about that. But that's not digging in your heels. Digging in your heels is arguing with them about something and just being like so convinced of that you're right that like you're not going to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to keep listening to them. You got to like hear where they're coming from. And as an adult, it's a puzzle. Like treat it like a video game. You are like trying to figure out how you can like make this situation work for you.
Oh yeah.
As an adult. And dig in your heels, it will never work for you. You're just like gonna end up with hurt feelings and fucking screaming. So that's that's my advice there.
Wow. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's not an examination, it's an inquiry.
There you go. Yeah. Nobody expects the Spanish inquiry. Okay.
I am pent up with 2 pieces of fatherly advice that I've been wanting to give forever.
Yes, please.
Okay, thing number 1.
I appreciate you holding on to them and giving them to me and not to Brian L. Perkins.
Oh, you're welcome.
That scallywag.
Rapscallion.
Yeah.
We both went for the... Okay, so, when you're...
The scal words.
when you are in your kitchen and you're gonna toast yourself a sandwich, sandwich bread.
Sure, I'll do that.
There are two ways you can do this, my friend.
Okay.
Let's say you're gonna make yourself a peanut butter and jelly.
Let's say.
And maybe there's a threat that some of that viscosity will leak around the sides if you don't do it right, especially if that bread don't line up on the back end because you smeared it wrong. So check this shit out, Jeff.
Wait.
Oh, don't worry. I got you.
Okay.
I know why you're confused.
Okay.
I'm gonna sort you out. I'm gonna sort you out.
Hit me.
I'm gonna sort you out.
Hit me.
So
Hit me.
you reach your hand into the bread thing, the loaf.
What's the bread thing?
The bag.
The loaf. This is before you've smeared anything on anything.
Anything. You're starting from square one.
You're getting the bread.
You get the bread out of wherever you keep it. Bread box.
Yep.
On top of the fridge. In the fridge.
Wherever.
Yeah, and it's in the bag, and it's pre-sliced. The blag.
Yeah.
And it's pre-sliced.
we take all of our bread out, stick it in a blag, into the bread box, and then now you're retrieving it into the blag
from said blag.
Now, how do you stop the blag from biting your fingers? Let me ask you this.
They need to be trained in Canada.
Right. Okay. That's before this.
Okay.
You have to have a well-trained blag.
You take
to put your bread into.
2 pieces of bread out, right?
Okay.
Of the bread blag.
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I'll put these pieces in the toaster.
Let's do it.
9 out of 10 guys are going to put that bread in. They're going to put the stack of bread intact that they just pulled out 2 pieces and then slide one off the other one, right? Onto the let's say it's a toaster oven.
Okay.
Okay, you with me so far? You're going to place them flat.
But are you sliding them off of each other?
You're putting bread in a toaster oven.
One does.
As one does, and it's got a tray.
And you would just take the pieces and stick them next to each other and slide the tray in, right?
Yeah, and stick them next to each other.
That's what one would do?
Or in a toaster, you just separate them and put them down, right?
That's how you work in a toaster, sure.
Yeah. And then you take them out.
Yeah.
You keep them in that order, collated as they were.
Sure.
Or you take them onto the toaster oven.
Right, because you want to make sure that the top
Okay, you're getting ahead of
together.
Shut the fuck up. You're getting ahead of me.
Okay.
Sorry, I just said shut the fuck up. That's the first time I'm dad jokes.
It's fine.
Are we going to be okay after that?
You already cheated on me.
This is whiskey. This is what this does to me.
That's it, yeah. Makes a man mean.
Here's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Here's what you have to do, Jeff.
Okay, tell.
Oh, I started reading Blood Meridian. That's my whatever it's called.
Cormac McCarthy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that guy. He's getting fucking
so
a
good.
sentence. You're just like
every sentence.
How does this exist?
He doesn't even use quotes.
It's incredible. It is incredible.
It's incredible. Blood Meridian.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you on that. You know, I've always tried to get through that book. Maybe we should have a book club.
Oh yeah,
I'll read Blood Meridian with you.
Will you?
Yeah,
great. I read 1 paragraph a night.
Okay, that sounds like my speed.
Okay, so here's what you do, Jeff.
Yeah.
You fucking open the bread like a book.
Okay.
Before you smear the peanut butter on it.
Okay.
You don't slide it off so it's next to each other.
Right.
Like if you're distributing, like let's say it's a newspaper.
Yeah.
It's 2 newspapers,
right.
one on top of the other.
Right.
You don't put the peanut butter and the jelly on the front page of both newspapers.
Hell no.
No, you flip one to the back page.
Okay.
And then you smear the peanut butter, and then it's perfect like it was in the blag.
Listen, I'm with you on this entirely. I feel like we took a really long
time to get there,
detour to get to this point
through Blood Meridian and Cormac McCarthy.
No, there's a lot of toasting situations.
I know.
You kind of threw us off the trail for a minute there.
Because it's so easy. I didn't want to just say that.
Well, I apprioit you building the story.
Take out 2 slices, open them like a book.
What you would, what in my business that would be called building the narrative.
Oh, or being called narrative. Paid by the word.
Well, there you go. Okay,
that's why Dickens is so long.
Okay, I love it.
Okay, but that was part 1.
Okay,
part 2 is, and Emily taught me this. We went and saw Jad Abumrad speak.
I don't know what that thing is.
He hosts Radio Lab.
Oh, okay.
When we're in the Bay Area.
Okay,
and he gave like a talk. And it was great. And he did actually exactly what I do in the pergola. He had projections and he had like a celloist celloing.
Cool.
And a bunch of other bullshit and like said things that were interesting.
Cool.
And it was quite pleasing.
Okay.
And then we all clap and then he's like, we have some time for a few questions. And then it was like, can we go? Let's go. You want to go? And I kind of wanted to hear the Q&A.
Yeah.
And she was really insistent. I was like, whoa. And she was like, let's go. Are you ready? And I was like, hold on a second. We listened to one question.
Yeah.
And it was lame or whatever from some idiot. And
no, Emily was right.
And she was like, how about now? Can we go now?
It's excruciating.
We get in the parking lot.
She's right.
And she was like, and she said, and I quote, never stay for the Q&A.
It's true.
Never stay for the Q&A.
Absolutely.
It ruins the experience you just had and erases it with like fucking Gen Pop idiots introducing themselves for no reason.
It's not a Q&A. It's a fucking let me tell you my story and then I'll somehow slide a question into it to make it feel like
that's some softball.
So do you agree? Like that's the question. I was just thinking, I listen to Radiolab all the time and blah 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 blah. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they even forget that whatever the question was, the fake question was going to be, and then they just stop talking after a statement.
Emily, 100% on that one. That is so true.
If anyone has ever been to a Q&A and they are the person that's like, and so I don't know, I guess this isn't a question after all. That person needs to be punched.
Yeah. No, there should be like some kind of a jail system that like if you go to a Q&A and you fail to like ask a legitimate question, like there will be a jury maybe in the Q&A who will like hold up cards like 10, 8, whatever numbers.
I think a night in jail will do the trick.
Oh, a night? I would give it more than
There's
that
certain for me, I feel like there should be a jail where you just spend one night if you change lanes without using a turn signal.
Yeah.
Just a night. Just scare you.
Just a night, and maybe they'd surround you by people who are like not menacing at all. Like there would be it would be kind of safe jail. Yeah, it'd just be kind of like inconvenient jail.
Well, one person's a murderer though. You don't know which one.
Can I just say, here's my counterpoint to that.
Mm-hmm.
Why you should stay for the Q&A in very select, rare occasions, because I went to see. Bad Lieutenant, Call New Orleans.
One of the greatest movies ever made.
Such a fucking amazing movie.
No one knows about it.
I saw a screening of that with Werner Herzog.
Oh,
and they did a Q&A afterwards. And Werner Herzog is a genius at taking a terrible question and making it fascinating.
Oh,
and
that's
it
incredible.
was like to sit in that Q&A and hear like exactly what you're describing. Like every person was like
self-serving.
So when you were friends with Klaus Kinski, did you ever see him make a new friend?
Like, people say I look like Klaus Kinski. Do you agree?
Exactly. And Werner Herzog would be like, that's a very interesting question. When I knew Klaus Kinski, and then he would like go on and like tell this story that had nothing to do with the question, but it would be the most fascinating story you've ever heard.
Oh,
and you're just like, he would just like take their questions and like pretend that they had merit and then just say whatever the fuck he wanted to say.
That's how to do it.
And it added so much to the entire experience. And
I
everyone felt like they had made a connection with Werner Herzog, and everyone who hadn't asked those questions felt like Werner Herzog just like gave those people dignity in a way that was very impressive.
That's pretty cool.
That was great.
Leave it to Werner. He's a planetary treasure.
Leave it to Werner.
Leave it to Werner.
We need to make that t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Leave it to Werner.
Maybe that's tonight's episode.
Okay. Well, no, wait, didn't we have hashtag small?
Short beef.
Short beef.
But that's so disgusting, though.
It is so disgusting.
I think it should be leave it to Werner is a little bit more user-friendly.
Can we immediately put the t-shirt up on Cafe Press?
Oh, yeah.
Have I told you about the fax hat? Or have you seen the fax hat?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Oliver Butler made a cap that just says fax on it.
Yep. It's
so
brilliant.
great.
I need to buy one.
I saw it
How
and
do
I was
know
like,
Oliver
I
Butler?
need that. I don't know. He's a director. He has a group called the Debate Society. They do amazing shit.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
It's time for me to go home.
It's time for you to go home.
It's time for you to go to bed. Your son is finally asleep.
He's finally asleep. I'm doing more travel in the coming weeks.
We're gonna figure
Emily's
this
going
out.
to Lebanon and Mumbai. Wow. And she's on a plane to Peru right now.
What?
Actually, she just landed in Lima while we were talking.
Jesus Christ.
It's fucking insane. And then Boston, and then back to the Bay Area, and then we're all going to Peru.
Wow.
You know, it's crazy.
I guess it's a good thing that you didn't go to Somalia or wherever you were planning to go.
Somalia because of my pirating career.
No,
it was really taking off.
What was the
Malaysia
teaching gig?
And
Malaysia.
Let me leave you with this.
Yeah.
The king or prince of Malaysia. It's a Muslim country, and there was a lot of pressure from religious groups that he not shake women's hands.
Okay.
And he thought that was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so he started carrying around a Hulk fist.
Oh.
And so anytime you'd have to shake hands with a woman, he would make a big show of being like, hold on, wait a minute, and put on the Hulk fist and then shake her hand with the Hulk fist. Wow. Isn't that great?
It's great, but it's also like very fucking strange that a national dignitary would have to do that.
I know, but
that's our world.
That's our world.
Brendan, lovely to see you.
Likewise.
I may do. Brian L. Perkins suggested this today that I do a episode with someone else. Since you've done
that's a great
episode
idea
with someone else,
yeah.
Maybe I'll bring in a ringer.
Bring in a ringer. If we can pull off another one before I have to go to Boston next week, I think you should absolutely bring in a ringer.
We'll do it the best. We'll do it the best.
I know.
We'll
I
do
know
our
exactly
best.
who it should be, but I'll tell you off the air.
Please.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.